Hello everyone, today I'm going to teach you how to use React Router. So this is going to be last video in our React Hook tutorial. Next step just will be building very simple portfolio website using React Hook so we can practice all things that we learn. And before we start, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to press subscribe and enable the bell to get all new videos and content. And also, if this is the first video for you to watch, I'll advise you to start from previous videos so you can understand the previous things that we learned, and also you can understand what we are doing here in this video. Directly to start to add our React router. To do that, first we need to install React router DOM, and just let me bring this package. It's called a package, so package.json, and this will be installed by Node.js. As we mentioned on first video, to create a React app we need to have Node.js installed in our machine, and so that already as I expect to be done on the first video. So today now we can just install our React router package. To do that, just open your terminal in the same place where you have your project or your application, the ones that just we practice on. For example, in this one, I will just go to top here, view, and I'll open my internal terminal, press this terminal, and it will open this section here, and I will do npm this is short for npm install. Then the package name is called react-router-dom, then press hit enter. This will take some second. We'll see you soon just after finish. So that is finished now installing the package. So how to use it, let's just close this terminal, we don't need it now. And if you go back to our app.js, and on top here, before everything, let's import this React router from react-router.dom. So this is how to import it. Just import, then open a curly bracket, then will be browse router as router. Here just be changing the name of this to just call it router. You can call it any name, but router it make more sense. Instead of using this one, overriding the name of it to be called router instead of browse router. And here we have also this component switch, and we have root switch. How to use it, just I will come down here, and after this, instead of this new div, I'm going to remove everything just to add another here component. I will call router component, and close this router. And inside this router, it will expect only one child. So because that, I'm going to have a div here, and inside div, where I'm going to pass the switch component. And not this one. And just close it. And after closing the switch, inside the switch, then we can define our root. For example, we need to add main root, which will be just this component root, and the root, it will expect a path where it should be go to. So this in this scenario will be main path will be slash. Then we'll expect a component. So this should be with a lowercase. It has to be lowercase component. Then equal, then curly bracket. Inside this curly bracket, you need to add your component name. For example, this scenario, I'm going to pass home. And then just closing that one. We can add this one example, we can pass a component like this, and the second example, we can remove it from here and make it not self-close, just like that. This is the second option, and in between here, I can pass my component, which will be home. This will do the same job basically. we define the router. Still there is some syntax issue here. Yep, let's remove this here, we don't need this anymore. And if we go and rerun our application, just stop it and run it again. That taking some second to finish. Yep, that fixing it. And as you see now that the CSS changed because we just removed this style. And if we need to take that style back, we can just add another class here to this div and call it app. Save it. That will bring the things on the middle of the screen. And that basically, if there is nothing changed, basically you don't notice anything, but the syntax here, if you notice, is slightly different now, and it's being rendering the component differently, and you will not notice that unless we can create more components so you can see the difference. So how to use the React router? First we install it from React router. After install it, then we import it here where we can use it. For example, here in app.js component. Then we'll first call our router component. Then inside this router, we'll expect everything will be wrapped by a div, for example. And then we'll call our switch component. Inside this switch, we can define our routes. So for example, this route here will go to main. So when we go to this just a slash, it will render this home component. And as I mentioned, this is because we can't see the difference, but let's, for example, create another component, call it, at least let's create two components, about us and contact. If you go back here to components and just let's create new one, call it about.jsx, and another one, call it contact. Just press this file, contact.jsx. And each one of them, let's just copy this bottom component, and then I'm going to modify it and just come to contact. Here I'm going to remove everything here, just add h1 and call it contact component. And I'm going to change this instead of button to be a contact. And we need to export this contact down here. And let's remove this console, we don't need it anymore. Can save it. And also let's remove the console from the bottom component. And if go back, this is our contact. First, sorry, this is about. Let's just change it to be about instead of contact. So this, now we created our about component. Let's remove also these props, we don't need any at the moment. This is our about component. We can do the same for contact component here, and add it here and change this to be contact instead of about. And now we have two new components. So basically we need here, when it comes to this app.js, we need to add another two route. Basically here we can add another two route after this, second, 3. And here instead of a slash, it will be slash about. And this will rendering instead of home, will render about component. And here the third one, instead of a slash, will be slash contact. And instead of rendering home, we'll render contact component. If we save this one, and you have something here about the syntax seems not right, and complaining about this about and contact component is not imported, let's import this two component, and just change this to be about, and last one to be contact, and save it. That should be fine now. And because we don't have here any navbar or header to access other components, but we can use this top search area, we can just add a slash, for example, about. This is our root. Basically, if you hit enter, this should be go to about, but it's not going there. Let's see if there is something wrong. We need to update it. We need to pass exact, so to render only about component, so to avoid not rendering home. So to fix this issue, exact, and you need to add this for all of them just before pass or after defining your route, and save it. As you see here, this is our about component. If we change this to be contact and save it, not like that, save it here, reload, and if hit enter, this will take us back to, let's see what's wrong with the contact. Let's contact here. Oh, we change here the contact to be imported from home, should be imported from contact. Save it, and if we reload back again, this is a contact component. If we change it to about, that now go to about component. If we remove everything, just leave a slash, that will go to home. Home will render this component. This is how we can use our router, but instead of manually updating things to be different, to go to different component, usually the user will not understand this and they don't know how to switch between routes. So we need in this scenario just to create a navbar or a navigation system. For example, here after this div, if we just define an order list, open just very dummy on order list, and inside just add list item, and inside this list item just add anchor tag, and just close this anchor tag. Inside here, for example, call home, and this home, this anchor tag, it will expect instead of anchor tag we can use a React link component, so that will helping us so to avoid the default browser behavior. So instead of using this anchor tag, we can just add a comma here and call another component called link, and then we can use link here instead of this anchor tag. And this link will expect another props called to. It will be your component path. For example, for home will be just a slash. You need to duplicate this line 3 times. Will be the second one for about, and then instead of a slash will be a slash about, and same for contact, and it will be a slash contact, and save it, contact. If we need to change this color, just let's add here to our CSS app.css as we imported here. This app.css, let's remove everything, just leave last one here. Here we need to do like just any anchor tag, add a color. For example, if we change the color just to be green, save it. This is the color is green now. If we need to change the font size to be 30 pixel, that's big enough now. So just now just make it more visible. So it's here. So now we can just use this link to navigate between these different components. If we press, because now already we are in home, it will do nothing. If you go to about, it will take us to about component. If we press contact, it will take us to contact component. If we press back home, it will take back to home components. This is briefly how to use a React router, and very simple, and I hope that was easy. And if you have any question, just leave a comment down in the comment section. And also, if you are new to my channel, again, don't forget to press subscribe button and enable the bell button to get all new videos and content. I'll see you soon on next video.